Hey everybody, it's Ben here from the Better Business Analysis Institute, and I've taken a slide from the Certified Better Business Analysis Level 1 course where we talk about the soft skills that every BA needs. These particular skills are the most important when considering whether or not you want to be a BA. There are 8 of them, and we're going to go through them in detail. And we'll start at the top. Time management is around making sure that you can manage your time effectively, and also communicate how long you think things are going to take. Time management doesn't mean that you can give a fixed deliverable date and then you're tied to that. Time management is making sure that you have enough time to do what you need to do. And if things change, then you can consult with your project manager. But ideally, you should be good at estimating and guessing how long things are going to take you. Time management also means turning up early to a meeting, being prepared for it. If things change again, then you can renegotiate, but give someone 24 hours notice. Time management is so important. The reason why it's really in the pinnacle part here is that it's all around attitude. And if you don't turn up on time or you're known as being unreliable, then it's really hard to even build a relationship with someone if you're not there. Secondly, we move up to adaptability. And adaptability can also be called agility. Adaptability is your ability to adapt to the situation. Great BAs are chameleons. They will mold to the environment and the people around them. You need to adapt for the way that you're receiving information. You need to adapt in the way you communicate. You need to adapt to the environment that you're in. Adaptability means that you might be asked to just go and do a lower level task at some point. No, you're not too good to that. BAs need to get in and muck in. Adaptability means that you might have to change plans on the day. That is all part of being a BA, being adaptive, being able to answer and to be able to respond with clarity on the spot. Next, we've got leadership. You should be a leader in your own abilities. As a BA leader, you should be responsible for the tasks that are in the BA plan, and you should be responsible for standing and leading within the team when it comes to BA responsibilities. But you should also be a leader for your project and for your process area and behalf of your users and the business areas. You should be able to communicate effectively with leadership. You should be able to attend a governance meeting, and you should be able to present to a board, for example. BA, or being a great, better BA, is all about being a leader in your field. And it could just be a specialist leader. You don't have to be the best. Leadership isn't about being the best, it is about taking people on the journey. Next, we move over to emotional intelligence, also known as EQ. And for me, a better BA has high EQ. It is a skill that you either naturally develop through genetically or through your environment, being brought up, into your exposure, and sometimes people who have associated with introvert abilities are generally got a lower EQ, and generally those who are more extroverted have high EQ. That's not quite the full picture. But for you, if you want to develop your emotional intelligence, that's to do with empathy, it's around knowing people, it's around being able to communicate with them, to be able to hit them at an emotional level and really understand and pick up vibes from people, then you need to go out and talk to people. And one way of developing your emotional intelligence, if you feel like that you're stuck inside your shell or not able to communicate with people where you want to at an emotional level, is to go traveling and to meet new people. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations until you get a little bit comfortable. Now, we all are always developing these abilities, but EQ is very, very key for a BA because it actually helps you do some of these other things if you're able to communicate effectively and read signs from people like body language. Next, we've got presentation skills. You need to be able to present information in the right way to the right person at the right time in the right channel or method. If you're presenting a 100-page spec, your presentation skills need to be developed. You should be able to communicate complex ideas quite simply in a couple of slides in PowerPoint. Presentation skills don't necessarily mean present everything. It could mean just present what that audience needs to hear, use appendix. It might be using, like I said, a PowerPoint presentation, or it might be simply how you write an email, how you present maybe to a group or to individuals. You need to be able to present information and provide clarity. That is the trick to business analysis. Next, we move over to teamwork. BAs need to be able to work in a team. Yes, you might be a leader of that team, you might be a worker in that team, but you need to be able to work with your team effectively. Teamwork requires you going out and talking to people. You should not be stuck at your desk. Teamwork involves at least you working with a project manager and maybe an architect, the three amigos we call it. But you should be able to work in any part of the business and you should be able to communicate with any part of the business. Teamwork is about working together, listening, taking criticism, changing your view. Don't be too stuck that you think you've got the right solution. That happens quite a lot. Listen to your team. They are really good at their area. And teamwork is like a sports team. People should be playing in their position effectively. If you're working at the lead, at the front end, like talking to the business, the project manager is the middle kind of runner, making things happening, and the architect's at the back, making sure that, things are working effectively. Think about your teamwork dynamics like a sports team. Everyone should be playing their position, but ultimately you're on the same team to win. Next, we're talking about communication. This is closely coupled with presentation skills, but it's really important to understand that communication is a two-way street. Usually in relationships, when they're breaking down, people are not communicating. And that communication involves communicating, seeing the reaction, listening, responding that you've heard, and listening to the other point of view. Communication is really important. And as we move to this greater global way of working, communication is twofold. Not everyone speaks English. And if you're in an English speaking country, and this could be true in the reverse, if you're like working in Spain, not everyone will be speaking your natural language. So ESOL is really important. Communication means that if I'm working with someone, for example, who doesn't have great English abilities or is developing them, then I need to be very, very clear that I don't understand what they're saying to a certain point. I may ask for them to communicate in written form as well as verbal form. I need to ask the right questions. I need to be able to use simple language. So communication for a BA is around making sure that there's a common language, both technical and also when it comes to the language that you're using. Don't use big words here. You're writing children's books. Effectively, think about children's books writing. That's the level in which you should be communicating. And communication is around being responsive. It's around responding to emails straight away, or at least saying, I'm looking at this, I'm moving along. Going away into your black box and not responding, not communicating, not visiting people, not saying hi to people, that's not going to help you as a BA. You need to go out there, you need to communicate, you need to take opportunities, and actually over communication is probably a good thing. Not necessarily annoying someone in their inbox, but maybe just keeping them informed more than you even think you should. And finally, problem solving. This is so important that it's a whole skill and capability for BAs that we talk about later. But problem solving in its general sense of the word is being able to look at something and solve the puzzle. Problem solving is like playing chess. You need to understand cause and effect. You need to understand the patterns of behavior. And problem solving is sometimes a unique ability that a BA is really good at having. So you need to be able to step back, look at the problem, and be a bit of a detective. So problem solving is really, really key. And you can develop those skills by playing board games, being great at Cluedo, for example. Problem solving is really key for a BA. So if you've got those 8 abilities, or you're working on those 8 abilities, or you think, what should I work on in my soft skill area to become a BA? Time management, adaptability, leadership, emotional intelligence, presentation skills, teamwork, communication, and problem solving. If you've got those, or you're focusing on those, they are the right skills for you to focus on to be a better BA.